Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your Chelsea news video. But before I dive into it, guys, make sure you smash a like and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. On the road to 7,000 subscribers, every new subscriber is greatly appreciated. And with the international break in full flow and not an awful lot of stuff going on in regards to club football matters, there has been a little bit of news coming out from Chelsea and some issues regarding the transfer window and players that didn't arrive through the doors. I'm going to dive into it, give my thoughts on a few things. And as always, guys, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. And an article in The Athletic coming out on day of recording this morning, so Thursday morning even, about Chelsea's pursuit of a centre forward. And according to The Athletic, Chelsea did ask about Taiwo Awoniyi 48 hours before the deadline day, but Nottingham Forest were in a position to say no. This news doesn't particularly surprise me. Awoniyi, a very decent centre forward, a real handful. You know, he'd scored 7 games on the spin before he came to Stamford Bridge last weekend, and obviously didn't find the back of the net. And he's a handful. He's got an eye for goal, and he's a sort of striker that I could absolutely see working out at Chelsea, given his build, his stature, his attributes. You know, it's a sort of attributes that we've had great success with over the years, with the likes of Drogba, the likes of Costa. I'm not comparing him to them, but in terms of physicality, attributes, he is quite similar. And we could have done with someone like him. It does surprise me a little bit that we were potentially going to go for him, just based on the fact he's going to the AFCON in January. So it would have been out without him and Nicholas Jackson, as well as Christopher Nkunku, who would just be coming back from injury. But it does go to show and goes to highlight that Chelsea did want another centre forward, but obviously we didn't really see anyone viable on the market that was fitting what we're looking to do and fitting the profile. But then, I mean, I don't know how old Awoniyi is, but I mean, I'm not sure if he fits in. Is he under 26 potentially? I don't know. But, you know, would it fit the recruitment sort of thing we're looking to do? Potentially, yes. But ultimately, he's a goal scorer. He's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. And, you know, this Chelsea side needs goals. And you can imagine if you put him into the Chelsea team with better quality around him and creating more chances for him, he probably would get a few goals. But I mean, am I annoyed we didn't sign a centre forward in the window? I'm not annoyed per se. I'd much rather us sign the right person rather than just signing someone for the sake of it. But at the same time, as I've said many times before on lives and people that tune into the channel regularly, I do really worry where the goals are coming from in this Chelsea team, because right now we've got a lot of raw players, a lot of rough diamonds, need a bit of polishing, and I don't know if I could hang my hat on anyone in this side to regularly put the ball into the back of the net. Nicholas Jackson's going to be tasked with that responsibility. And as much as he's impressed, then, you know, he runs the channels well, he holds the play up well, he links up well. He doesn't strike me right now as someone who has got a ruthless streak in him and a prolific goal scorer. He, of course, may well develop that, but right now, for me, it doesn't appear to be there. And the same old problems at Chelsea. Where are the goals going to come from? And who is going to be that regular goal scorer? Until January, we're going to have to get by with what we've got. So we're going to have to require the likes of Sterling, Mudryk, Madueke, Cole Palmer, Broja when he's fit again, Jackson, to all step up and try and put the ball into the back of the net, because we were 30 to 40 goals short last season. And we need to somehow try and make that deficit up. But on the early evidence so far this season, it doesn't look too likely that we are going to be making that deficit up. But yeah, no, hardly a surprise to hear this news come out that we did inquire about Awoniyi. He was one that was mentioned in terms of a bit more of an experienced striker, someone with an eye for goal and someone that could come in and make a pretty instant impact. Of course, Forest are not going to sell their star striker a couple of days before the deadline, knowing full well they were going to get rid of Brennan Johnson as well. So hardly surprising on both fronts that we inquired, and obviously that that Forest didn't want to sell him. But it's clear for me that we will definitely go back in for a centre forward in January if we can, because we need more competition up there and we need a regular source of goals 100%. I mean, sticking with attackers, I'm kind of glad, with the utmost respect to Antonio Nusa even, that we didn't sign him, because, you know, it was a mad one. You know, Chelsea were monitoring winger Antonio Nusa, having had a £23 million deadline day bid rejected by Club Bruges for the 18-year-old. I mean, I think he's been dubbed the Norwegian Neymar. The Blues look to steal a march on their transfer rivals by attempting to sign Norway's next potential superstar late in the summer window. Now, again, two reasons I'm glad this happened. I mean, one reason it didn't happen is because it was conditional on the basis that one of Ian Martin or Conor Gallagher left. I'm glad that they both stayed. But another thing that we didn't need was another young, raw, inexperienced attacker. That's exactly what this Chelsea side needed. Exactly what it needed. And another young, inexperienced attacker to add to all the young, inexperienced attackers that we have on the books right now. I really unsure at what the strategy is here, what the transfer plans are here. Like, what are we doing? Are we just literally just buying every young talent on the books? We just stockpiling and then hoping that a few come good, and then we sell the rest on. Where are all these guys going to fit in? All these guys are a similar sort of age, all coming in on long-term contracts, all need minutes to develop, and are all going to be taking those minutes off each other. And for me, an inevitable bottleneck is gonna form, and there's going to be nowhere for these guys to go and get their minutes and develop into the players that we hope that they can become. So I'm really confused by this approach of continuously looking to sign more young attackers. I get that he could be like Norway's next potential superstar, but he's 18 years of age, sorry. Yeah, there's going to be increased competition in future windows, sure. He obviously became the second youngest goal scorer in Champions League history when he scored for Bruges in a group stage against, I want to say, Porto obviously a year ago, last September. Plays for the Norwegian under-21s, not been capped at senior level yet. But according to the Evening Standard and the Czar Cancella, he's being watched by at least 20 other clubs in Europe. He's made 10 appearances for Bruges this season, and he scored 1 goal. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists in total, 46 outings for the club. I mean, look, could be a good talent. I'm sure there's ability there for sure. But why do Chelsea need to go for another one of these? Why? Like, could someone please in the recruitment department or in the club or whatever ask why we're doing this? Why are we signing all these youngsters? Like, we don't need all of these guys. We don't need them all. It's absolutely as simple as that. I'm not really sure what the idea is. I get the idea in terms of you want to try and find gems so that we don't end up spending 50, 60 million pounds or someone that cost about 15 million quid a couple of seasons ago and allow someone else to develop them. I totally get that. But where are all these guys going? There's not enough loan spots. We haven't got enough feeder clubs. Enough clubs in the multi-club model to do it. And we haven't got enough minutes to give out in the first team for the vast majority of these guys to play and develop. So what's the plan here? We're just buying them, loan them out for years, and then just sell them on for a profit. Like, I don't see what the idea here is at all. Yes, by all means, sign a few young, talented youngsters. I didn't make sense, but sign a few talented youngsters, absolutely. But Chelsea just seem to be signing every talented youngster on the books, linked with that Corinthians midfielder, 17 years old, for around 25 million euros. Then it's Nusa. We've already signed young players, admittedly more experienced, but Ugo Chukwu, David Washington, Angelo. Like, where are all these guys going to fit in the squad for years to come? What sort of a message does that send to the academy? The guys breaking through there, are we going to get given a chance, or are we just going to be sold on and Chelsea just going to go and buy the best youngsters from elsewhere? There's so many conflicting messages with this approach. I absolutely get it that you want to cut out the middleman and find these players yourselves, but I just think we're excessively stockpiling. And if I'm being brutally honest, I hope that this one doesn't happen. I mean, I could be proven wrong in a few years' time, fine. But right now, sitting here talking about this, I hope that this deal doesn't go through, because we do not need any more young, inexperienced attacking players. We need some more experience. We need some more polished players. We need some guys that can come in and make an instant impact. And Nusa is not ticking that box. So yeah, hopefully Chelsea can learn their lesson and kind of stick away. We don't need any more of these guys. We don't need any more of them. And then just finally, very briefly to round out, feel a little bit sorry for Trevor Chalobah on all this. Obviously we knew Nottingham Forest were interested. Politely made it clear earlier in the window that a move to Forest did not appeal, and that stance did not change. Wanted the Bayern Munich move, couldn't get it done. I feel like we've created a massive problem with Trevor Chalobah for no apparent reason. We bought in Axel Disasi. No one saw that one coming. There were no links. Bang, it just suddenly appeared. I'm not saying Disasi is a bad player, but I think he's slightly older than Trevor Chalobah at 25 compared to 24. Yes, he's captain Monaco in the Champions League. Yes, he's played a lot of times for them. Not a bad defender, but I don't know if he's categorically miles better than Chalobah. Chalobah hadn't really put a foot wrong in a Chelsea shirt, always dependable, 24 years of age, versatile, can play right back, centre back, and holding midfield if necessary. And the only reason I can think of Chelsea wanting to try and get Chalobah out of the club is for pure profit on the books because he's an academy player. I can't think of any other legitimate reason why Chelsea would be trying to force Chalobah out. Now, of course, I understand that, you know, he's behind Thiago Silva, he's behind Wesley Fofana. Obviously not anymore because he's injured. He's behind Colwell, he's behind Badiashile. I totally get that. And, you know, it's going to be hard for him to get minutes only playing once a week. But we didn't really need to bring Disasi in my opinion. Look, Disasi can come on and go on and be very good for us, sure. But it feels right now we've created a massive problem for ourselves with Trevor Chalobah that we didn't actually need to create. And Chalobah is far too good a player to be disrespected and just be a training player and not play any minutes. So I don't really know what the plan's going to be for him, but he's just not going to play for Chelsea this season unless we have a mass injury crisis at the back. And I feel for him, like, it's so disrespectful to him. He's a much better player. He deserves much more than just doing training weekly and playing no games at the weekend. So, yeah, I feel Chelsea have done a slight own goal here. I'm not moaning about the signing of Disasi. For me, it just wasn't entirely necessary. And we've created a huge problem with Trevor Chalobah for ourselves. And he's certainly for 6 months, at least until January, probably going to play next to no football, which he doesn't deserve that at all. But yeah, guys, that's just a little bit of Chelsea news to round up in regards to things that did and didn't happen in the transfer window. As always, people, let's make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll catch you again in another video soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.